Hello and welcome everybody. I am Paul Chion, joined here by Team Genesis member and world's competitor Brad Nelson. Today we're going to be talking about the deck that you brought to the tournament, 4-color energy. Now, why 4-color energy?
Well, I didn't really want to play it. I just want to play 3 colors, but Scarab God is so good in the mirror match. And then there's other things about it that I will discuss later, but I'm not going to say it now.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, let's just head straight into the deck here. We have our 1 and 2 mana spells. Could you talk briefly about these cards?
All right, well, Longtail's Cub is really good against control decks, especially blue-white control, but I didn't think anyone was going to play that. I also didn't think there was going to be as much, or sorry, blue-white, but I didn't think there was going to be that much blue-black, and there is. But Longtail's Cub is one of your most important cards against mono red, and I knew that that deck was going to show up. So you can play 3 if there's a ton of energy decks in your format, but it's just the very good start to each game against the aggressive decks.
Nice, and then we have, of course, our mana fixing here with Servant and Attune.
Yeah, I mean, if you start any game with Attune into one of these, your deck is just fully powered. Even in the mirror matches, when one player attunes and the other doesn't, you feel like you're behind because that's eventually going to be a Bristling Hydra activation, another Thopter, or even a more mana with Servant. Yeah,
the energy package has proven to be incredibly powerful. Moving on here, we have the 3 and 4 mana energy creatures here. Talk to us about these cards.
Well, what else can I say? These bad boys have helped me and my brother win a lot of Grand Prix this year. World of Virtuoso is another card that's good against control decks and aggressive strategies and protecting your planeswalkers in the mirror matches. But Rogue Refiner is the heart and soul of the deck. Tracker, Tireless Tracker rotated out, which is one of the good...
Rest in peace, Tireless Tracker.
I miss it so much already. I almost brought my clue to this tournament. I just it's just habitual to just grab everything.
Yeah.
But Rogue Refiner is the heart of this deck. If this card didn't exist, I don't think 4-color Saheeli, Aetherworks Marvel, or even this deck would be a thing.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and now we have more finishers here. We've got some Chandra, Glorybringer, and the reason for the splash. Talk to us about this.
Well, Chandra is one of the most powerful cards on the play in the mirror match, also as Glorybringer. But the Scarab God is good in the mirror matches, but if you look at the deck lists, once they go live, I don't know if they are yet, it's pretty invalidated in this metagame. People really hated towards it, and I was playing a lot of mirror matches with Martin Mueller, and we just found that when you play it on the play, it just wins the game, but it's not that great at breaking serve.
Right.
So maybe we should have just played 3-color, but I chickened out. I wanted to. I don't really like having 4 colors in the deck. That's why I added a 23rd land.
Okay, so you wanted the Mirror Breaker and the Scarab God, though. You thought that was super important.
Yes.
All right. And so that was the creatures. Now we have the removal suite here. Kind of talk to us about the numbers for this.
Well, you usually want 7 or 8 removal spells. 7 if you're going to play Confiscation Coup, but I was under the impression that Confiscation Coup wasn't going to be good at this tournament. We played a lot of mirrors, like I said, and it's just not a card that wins the game anymore. There's not a lot of trackers. There's no Sky Sovereigns. And so the only real targets are God or Warlord Virtuoso, maybe a Dragon that's tapped.
Right.
But then they get a chance to deal with it. But Harness Lightning is, in my opinion, the best card in the format, just because it is deal 3 on its own. It can terminate bigger things with the rest of your package. It can create a Thopter. It can give a Bristling Hydra hexproof, and it can put a +1/+1.
What does it not do?
Exactly. Even control decks are like splashing it.
Right, right.
But Magma Spray was a concession to red, expecting red to be in the format, as well as it's pretty good on the draw in the mirror when you can just pop off a Servant, much like black decks that get to do with Fatal Push.
Makes a lot of sense. All right, and finishing off the deck, we have the lands. We've got the non-basic lands here, and of course, we have the basic lands to search for with Attune with Ether.
I will say one thing.
Sure.
Is I didn't have the confidence putting the 4th Rootbound Crag in the deck, but then I saw PGO playing 4, and I'm like, I screwed
They're probably
up.
Right.
Yeah, I screwed up.
How has the Rootbound Crag actually been?
Oh, it's great. You're able to have more dual lands to get Bristling Hydra and Glorybringer out when it's a top deck.
Right.
And it's really easy to have a mountain or a forest in play. And even if not, you can play it on turn 1. It's just, it gives the 4-color deck. I probably want to play 4-color if it was Game Trail or Cinderglade, just because of that.
So Rootbound Crag doing wonders for your mana
it's
base.
It's really good in Temur Energy.
All right, so let's quickly talk about your sideboard here. What's going on over here?
Well, Chandra's Defeat is a very good card against mono red. The Abrade was a fear of God's Fair Gift, but also sometimes you want a higher density of 2-mana removal spells on the draw in green matchups, especially if people played Sultai Energy. You just need to make sure you can deal with Hostage Taker. The Scavengers is also a split card that can be good against control decks too. Like you can use that in Hardest Lightning to kill a god to actually exile it. It's going to exile things for God's Pharaoh Gift matchups, and it's just a Kitchen Finks effect against red that if they don't spend the time killing it, like if you play it and you gain 2 life, they can't really on-crop craftsure you. They have to spend their turn killing it, which also gains effectively more life that turn.
I see, and you have an additional removal effect and another graveyard removal effect. Now let's take a look at your anti-control package. This is a lot.
Well,
what do we have here?
Anyone that knows me historically knows that I do not beat control game 1 that often, but I know how to beat it after sideboard.
Right.
And to say that, I am 1-1 against control.
Not bad, given that you're pretty big dog in game 1, right?
Yes, yeah. I am 3-1 in sideboarder games. But yeah, Spell Pierce is just a really good card at protecting your planeswalkers, getting them into play. Also beating Essence Scatter in the early turns to get some pressure on the board. Nyssa is this very punishing effect against control decks whenever they have to tap low to interact with you, especially blue-white where they fumigate you, or even play God. You can Harness Lightning, untap, get you for 5. Now there's a Nyssa in play. You can't really play God again because it's probably lethal. And Negate would have been good if blue-white or God's Fair Gift showed up, but it's not the greatest thing against blue-black control.
Oh, I mean, it's still got to be a fine card in that
Oh yeah,
matchup,
you bring it in every time, but it's still, you can just be holding it and then they just go play their God.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck in the rest of the tournament. For Brad Nelson and myself, this was 4-Color Energy here at the 2017 Magic the Gathering World Championships.